And this video will cover how you can automatically verify your email lists. We'll be using Million Verifier as the first layer of the verification. And then if that tool returns that something as a risky email, we'll be using a catch-all verification. I'll explain later on why is that important and how it works and how you can automate it so you don't have to do it manually step by step. We'll be using Clay, but we will be leveraging APIs of these two tools, so we won't be using any Clay credits. So it will be basically free. So the first step that we need to do is to create a column that will accept the email that will be verified. Next, we are going to connect to Million Verifier, and that will be an API call. So you select an HTTP API, and then in the configure tab, you look at adding a get method and copying this endpoint. So you can see here that it will take the email as an input, and you will be providing your API key here. I'll update that later on for myself, and then I'll run this to show you what's the output. But that's the whole thing that you need to do. So just send the email to this API, and then it will return is the email good or not. Next will be parsing the output of Million Verifier and just extracting the quality. So that will be good, risky, bad. And if it's good, then we just continue using it. If it's risky, we are sending it to Bounceband to do the catch-all verification. And if it's bad, we don't use it. So the Bounceband, that's a different service for email verification. And they don't just check on the server level, does the email exist, but they really try to send an email and see will it bounce or not. And that is why it's more expensive, but a lot of people don't send to catch-all emails, so sending to that list can give you some untapped leads in your market. We'll set up this thing similarly. So again, an HTTP API call, again, a GET request, and this is the URL that you're going to send to, and you'll provide the email here. Authorization is added in the headers, and there you copy your API key. Once you do that, that's again everything that you need to do. It will send the email. We only have to add a run condition, and that means that we only want to run this column if the email is risky. As I mentioned previously, like if Million Verifier says that an email is good, then we'll just use that. If it's bad, then we won't run it through Bounceband. Only if Million Verifier is unsure of the email, then we are going to run it through Bounceband and check if it's good or not. Then again, we are going to extract the result here and combine the two in a column that can be pasted. So what does this do? It checks, is the Million Verifier column good, or does Bounceband return something as deliverable? And if either of those two are correct, then we are going to deem this email good and use it in our campaign. So I'll stop the video now to copy the API endpoints, and then I'll run a couple of examples to show you how it works. Okay, so I've added the API keys, and now we can test how does this work. So we'll be adding a new row, and here we just enter a sample email. We click enter, and then we see that first it will be going to Million Verifier, and since the email is good, then it won't be going to spam. But if we try to do something like this email does not exist, then we can see that it's bad and it's not checked in this column. And if we run it for this email, we'll see that it's risky, and then now it's running bounce ban, which is delivering that it is a good email that you can send to. So there are other tools that you could use for catch-all verification, like Scrubby. And for this first layer of verification, you could use zero bounce or never bounce. So you need to test out different tools. It depends on the industry and what email providers they're using, how good they are. But this setup was pretty good for all the use cases I was running. If you want to run more examples, like you could go to a sheet, copy the whole column, and then go here and paste everything. And then you can copy 2000 emails and it will just continue running it. And when you want to export, so depending on what, if you have a paid clay, you could automatically import this to your sending tool. But if you don't, you can click here, export, and then as you can see, it can go to HubSpot, SmartLead, Google Sheets, and so on. But if you don't have that paid version, you can just download it as a CSV and then upload it to the tool that you want to use. You can also create multiple columns here. So we just have emails because we only need emails, but you could have like as many columns as you want that are not really used, and then just run this logic on emails. That way, when you copy everything here, you will have a list ready to go. So you can export it automatically to SmartLead and then continue using it there. So that's all. Let me know if you have any questions. You can post them in the comments, and in the description, I'll leave a link. Like if there are any automations that you would like to build, then get in touch and see can we work something out.